Forza Horizon 5 is a beautiful game. I mean, look at the scenery, the details, honestly, the devs have absolutely smashed it. But beneath the pretty face lays quite a few things which really annoys the player base. And that is what I'll be going through today, so let's try and hit 4,000 likes if you want me to make a part 2 to this video, because believe me, there is a lot more to uncover. Anyways, without further ado, let's get to this video. Why do PC players have to sit here and watch this really long intro whilst Xbox players go straight to the title screen? Why can't I get put straight here, man? It's so annoying, man. Like let us go.
Press X for accessibility.
And that voice is so annoying as well. The starter car choice in this game is absolutely crazy. Like, how are we given a C8 Corvette, a Toyota Supra, and a Ford Bronco right at the start of the game? That just doesn't make any sense, man. Come on. Forza Aero in this game is absolutely disgusting. I mean, look at that splitter. That is terrible. And the wing is this. Like, what is this? This is so embarrassing. The fact that the festival playlist recycles cars from the old games and makes them the reward for the season. Like, come on. These two cars were seen in the old games. These two cars were seen in the old games. These two cars were seen in the old games. And these were as well. Like, come on. Why can't we put these cars in the auto show and put new to Forza cars in the festival playlist? That would be so much better. With many cars in this game, you cannot remove the wing, which is really annoying. And with some cars, you can't even touch the wing. What is this? In Forza Horizon 5, they give us so many legendary cars for doing absolutely nothing. I mean, I got this Valkyrie for doing nothing. It was a Secret Santa thing, I believe. And the same thing with the Gordon Murray T50. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're really cool cars and I like the fact that I can actually drive them in the game, but it's just not very rewarding in my opinion. Like, I would have liked to work for these cars. Like, come on, these could have been incredible festival playlist cars. The model for the Nissan Silvia S15. In this game, we have a really cool drag strip, but there are no drag lights whatsoever. Like, when am I meant to go? Like, what's going on? What's happening? Who is this? Well, that was stupid. Speaking of which, smashable barriers are great because it adds a lot of freedom, but it can also get annoying because of the stupid driver tasks. You crash into the barriers for no reason whatsoever and ruin the drag strip. Like, what are you doing, you absolute yobbos? Right, so I'm using drone mode right now and this is the highest that it can go. Mate, I can literally jump higher than this. What is this? In Forza Horizon 5, apparently yellow does not exist as a colour. As if you want to paint your car yellow, then it ends up being a really pale yellow, and if you want to adjust that yellow, then it just turns to orange. With a lot of cars that burble in real life, in Forza Horizon 5, you don't really get that. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like the lighting for the Hot Wheels expansion just feels really weird. I feel like there are way too many tracks going over each other and so many bridges that there are too many shadows. And yeah, man, it just doesn't feel anywhere near as vibrant as it did in Forza Horizon 3. With so many cars in this game, there are many unpaintable parts, which is very annoying. In Forza Horizon 5, we have quite a few cars with convertible roofs, but on most of the cars in the game, yep, the convertible roof does not work. I really love the sound of anti-lag in this game because it sounds so menacing. I love it. But if you decide to cruise with this car afterwards, then yeah, it never shuts up. Oh man, I wish there was a switch for the anti-lag, man. That would be so much better. The wheels are not sorted by the manufacturers that they come from, but instead they are split into these different styles of rim. And it's so hard to find the wheel that I'm looking for. Like, come on, Forza, what is this? And I know that some people said that using the right or left bumpers could actually skip through the manufacturers, but that's not the case. Because if I press the right bumper right now from HREs, I go back onto HREs, and again HREs, and again HREs. What is this? The fact that the steering wheel rotation is so outdated. Like, I'm using a wheel right now, and it looks so weird from the cockpit camera angle. Like, come on, even non-racing games have better steering wheel angle than this. Like, you need to update this. In this game, we have an incredible football stadium with a football in the middle. Look at that. Except you cannot play car football in this game because there are no goalposts, and when you're online, the ball is not synced up to all of the players. So if a ball's here for me, it will be there for someone else. It's like, you know what? Football doesn't work in this game. That's what I'm trying to say, and it's really annoying. If I'm driving this car and I want to go into photo mode, then I need to pause the game, go into Creative Hub, and look what happens when I select photo mode. It carries on driving for a little bit longer. Like, what is this, Forza? I wanted to just, if I pause the game, I wanted to pause, please. You can put stickers all over your car, as you can see, but you cannot put any on your windows. Like, what is this, Forza? Where are the window stickers, man? Basically, every other racing game has it. Like, what are you doing? Now, let's say you're going for a nice, relaxing cruise in Forza Horizon 5, while you're always going to run into these stupid speed cameras, which end up doing yeah, that gets very annoying. The price of the cars in this game does not make any sense whatsoever. So what is it, like 31 grand for an NSX, 34 grand for a Dodge Viper, 20 grand for a C8 Corvette, but in the Bath 695 goes for, like what is this? In what world does this make sense? I mean, yes, I know it's meant to be a rare car, but 20 million for a Fiat 500, what is this? The model of the Zonda in this game is worse in this game than it was in the Xbox 360 games. As in the Xbox 360 games, the car had see-through vents, but here it's completely blacked out. Like, come on Forza, I want to see the exposed exhaust system, that looked so cool. The fact that you have to drive through all of this dirt in the Valley expansion just to end up on the road, and once you end up on the road you have a dirty car. Like, what is this? I want a clean car, please. In Forza Horizon 5, you cannot mix and match different body kit parts, so it's either you have to put the full kit on or put nothing on whatsoever, and it's really annoying. Like, I want to have like the front bumper of this with like the bumper delete of this. Like, that would be so cool, and maybe even like the wide arches of this. That would be amazing. Like, come on, Need for Speed and the Crew have this feature, so why can't Forza add it as well? Like, you probably have the biggest budget. Most of the gifted cars you get in Forza Horizon 5 end up being absolutely terrible. Like, I got this Peugeot 207 too many times that I just hate opening gifts now. I literally refuse to receive gifted cars because I know that it's going to be a car that I do not care about. Why do the traffic cars get to have blinkers but we do not? Like, that's just discrimination. The main city of this game does not feel like the main city. I mean, when you think of Forza Horizon games, you think of Surfers Paradise, Edinburgh, Nice, Castelletta. But this just feels like a really small town and nobody cares about driving here whatsoever. Honestly, man, this is meant to be the main city of the game and there's nobody here. It genuinely just feels like a ghost town. In this game, you can build festivals all across the map, just like in Forza Horizon 3, which is brilliant. But unlike Forza Horizon 3, you cannot upgrade the festivals, which is not so brilliant. The sense of speed in this game is really bad. I mean, look at this. I'm driving a Lexus LFA, which is like a really raw supercar, and it just doesn't feel like it's going that fast. Even though I'm driving at crazy speeds, like that's 300 kilometers an hour right there. What is this sense of speed, man? What is this? The races in the Hot Wheels expansion just felt way too repetitive and boring that I'm still yet to complete this expansion. It's like, how's this racing when there are walls either side and like you can never make a mistake and you can basically just wall ride your way to victory? It's like you don't need to brake whatsoever. You could, yeah, look at that, no brakes and I'm second already. What's this? Every car that you drive in this game comes equipped with LED taillights. Like, come on, old cars are meant to come with halogen bulbs which fade on and fade off, but this car comes with LEDs and I don't like it. What is this? Although this game is spectacularly beautiful, the lighting on the cars is very weird. Like, why is this white car glowing? Driving stick shift with clutch in this game is so bad. Because you can't stall the car or turn off your car, there is no biting point, so there's no need for a clutch. You can just floor your car and it just goes. And you can actually shift without a clutch and have no problems whatsoever. Look at that, I'm not using a clutch right now. There are so many cars that are missing in Forza Horizon 5 which are seen in the older games. And I'm not just talking about cars like the EG6 Civic and the Toyota Altezza. I'm talking about brands like Rolls-Royce and Tesla. Like, those were so cool to drive in the old games. But now it's no longer seen and it's so annoying. Like, I want these cars to return, even though I hate Tesla in real life. It's so fun in Forza, man. Not only does Forza Horizon 5 have less houses in Forza Horizon 4, but the houses in this game are worse as well. I mean, in Forza Horizon 4 we had 2 castles, but in this game the best house is a hotel. Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing. When you spin a wheel spin and you get clothes in it. I didn't get clothes in it here, but when you get clothes in it, it's really annoying. The map of this game is deliberately made flat so you can cross country easily to play the Eliminator. This means you can easily drive across the map, which is good if you want to go from one place to another really quickly, but for drivers it's a bit annoying. Because when you stick to the roads when you can easily smash away off-road, you kind of feel like a dickhead, I'm not gonna lie. The exhaust flames in this game just look really cartoony and unrealistic. Like, what is this? Like, when have you seen flames that color on a stock car? Oh, and that's another thing, stock cars don't backfire like this. In Forza Horizon 5 we have quite a few cutscenes, which is amazing, but the quality of the cutscene is absolutely abysmal. I mean, it's the same shot over and over again and it just feels so lazily put together. Like, I want cinematography, please. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but this game just feels very ancient and old-fashioned. I mean, if you didn't know better, then you would have thought that this game was set in the 60s, so that's how old this game feels. Like, there's no modern infrastructure here whatsoever, it genuinely just feels like it was set in the past. The variety of missions in Forza Horizon 5 is pretty boring. I mean, it's just races and races over and over again. I mean, yes, I know it is meant to be a racing game, but it just gets so boring so quickly. How come we have traffic cars like the Subaru Legacy, but we can't drive that car in this game ourselves? And it's not just the Subaru Legacy, because in Forza Horizon 5 there's also a Fiesta, a Mazda 3, a Volkswagen Bora, along with coaches and buses and vans and trucks, like, oh my days. In this game there are no buttons for your headlights, so you can't watch your pop-up headlights go up and down, which is very annoying. If you're trying to take a picture of your car and adjust the time of day, then it is so laggy. Like, look how long it takes to go to the next time of day. Like, it's so long. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm happy that we have this feature, but other games do this instantly, and I don't know why this is taking so long. In this game, if you beep at an AI driver car, you don't join a convoy. But in Forza Horizon 3, if you beep at a driver, then you actually join them in a convoy, and it was so cool. You can cruise together, and I loved that, but now you can't do it, and I hate it. We can no longer play city camouflage, which is very, very annoying. Because whenever you drive behind a driver, it comes with an action sign kind of similar to that, meaning people pretending to be traffic cars can easily get sussed out, and yeah. One of the greatest minigames of Forza just died because of this stupid button. Like, what is this? The lack of traffic cars is absolutely crazy. I mean, you do get a fair amount of AI drivers in this game, but the amount of traffic cars is crazy. Like, it's so rare. In this game, we of course have a train, which is brilliant, but there is no railway crossing like there were in the last two games. Meaning the only way you can actually enter the train tracks is to literally force yourself to drive on it. But I miss the railway crossing, man. That was such a cool part of the old game. In Forza Horizon 5, there is no real ending, so there's no real satisfaction once you quote-unquote complete the game. I think the only way you can actually complete the game is to collect all of the cars, and even then we'll get new cars through the festival playlist, so it's like a never-ending cycle of just collecting cars.